Welcome back to Cowboy Golf. I know it's been a while, guys, since I posted a video. A lot's been going on. My swing has been constantly in flux. I know for all you upper handicappers, you go through the same thing where you're kind of changing month to month on how you're approaching the game. So today I'm approaching it differently than I did yesterday. We're going to be doing more of a Bryson DeChambeau-esque swing. You'll see what it looks like, but I'm going to try to not have any wrist hinge in my swing and just come straight back and straight through for the most part. And we'll see how that works for me today on the practice range. It was looking pretty good. I was hitting a lot of straight balls, sometimes a draw, which is something that he does a lot of because it's kind of an inside out swing. We're going to be using the Cobra Aero Jets for most of the work today. I did not bring a microphone, so everything's going to be off the phone mic. I may have to do some voiceover over the top of this video for you guys because of that. I do apologize. I'm a little out of the loop. I was on vacation up until Saturday, which was 2 days ago from when I'm filming this. I'm going to be using pink balls. Right now this is a Callaway Super Soft. I have several different pink and red balls today. We're going to use those all day long and for Mother's Day, right? It was yesterday as of filming this, but yeah, I just felt like that's something the right to do. I had plenty of these colored balls that I wanted to use, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're out at Divine 9 in Longview, Texas. It's a 9-hole par 3 course. It's pretty difficult if you're not hitting greens in regulation, and we had some torrential downpour over the last couple of days. This course, right now anyways, looks to be in pretty immaculate shape considering, except for maybe the tee box. But the greens from here look good. I haven't got on the green yet, so I don't know 100% if that's going to hold up. Hell, we got to hit the green first, right? Wind seems to be, it might be a factor today. I'm going to start off with a pitching wedge. This hole's about 120 yards, give or take. I will probably fly over with the pitching wedge. We'll just see, like I said, new swing. We're going to have to play with some things. I may play a couple balls. I'm out here practicing. I advise you guys to do the same thing if you get a chance to hit more than one ball. Here we go. All right, so pitching wedge went about 10 high, so about 120-ish yards, and way off the green. I had a little bit of a toe bias on that shot, so it hooked a little bit on me, which is probably fine because I bet it took some power off of it as well. We're gonna go with a sand wedge on this chip, so it's about 56 degrees, and this is a Cleveland, an older Cleveland Smart Sole. I find out here on this course having a little bit of bounce with your wedges helps. Now I also have my trusty dusty alien wedge, and I have the sand wedge for the Cobra set as well in the bag, but I decided this one's going to get me low enough to the ground but still have bounce to hit this kind of a difficult shot up the hill towards the flag. First chip of the day, and I've just went just past the hole Could have been a little better, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. So I have about 18 feet for par here. I am going to be using my Graves Golf single plane putting system lock and roll putter with the arm lock grip. This is a 40 something inch. It's adjustable. Now, one of the screws broke off the very first day, so if you get one of these putters, which they're kind of expensive, don't necessarily recommend going this route, but it's a fun putter. I still don't have the touchdown completely with it, and I've got some other putters I may like more coming. But this putter looks cool. It's rear mounted, if you can see. And like I said, it comes with a shorter grip as well. But you know me, I kind of like the arm lock. Now, I did say the greens were in good shape. I was wrong. The weeds growing out of this thing are going to make the ball bounce all over the place. And this one already looks like it's going to go to the left a little bit. So I'm going to have to aim a couple balls, actually probably a foot and a half to the right of the cup. It's one of the things I like. It's got 3 alignments on here, so I can line up the shot. Distance control has been an issue with this putter, but look at that. We will take a par on the first hole. Nice. All right, welcome to hole number 2, 150-ish yards, maybe a little less from where we're at. I'm just going to use a 7-iron. Normally I hit an 8-iron here, but like I said, distances aren't dialed in 100% power, etc. with this swing that I'm doing. Let me get the dirt out of my grooves here. All right, let's just rip it, guys. Oh, slipped my back foot, went way right. Pin high on the right, just to the right of the green. We got to get this under control. All right, guys, this is a very tricky shot. Side of the hill. I've never used a pitching wedge from over here. The grass is deep for the lie. I just got to get it bounced up next to the hole. Couldn't have asked for a better hit. You got what looks to be a 7 or 8 footer. Looks like it's going to go to the left just a little bit. Again. Not as bad as the last putt. Bogey. So unfortunately that's a 4. All right, so we're in hole number 3. We're just under 100 yards. I'm going to use the Cobra gap wedge against my better judgment here. You know what? Maybe I'll use the Cleveland one. Yeah, let me use the Cleveland one. Yeah. Probably making a big mistake here. I'm going to use the Cobra sand wedge here. Practically going to be on the ground. Was not hitting this club well in warm-up. Okay, I just hit that club about 120 yards at least. It sailed over the green. So I'm gonna have to chip pretty long ways. I'm on the other tee box. That's crazy. So that sand wedge just went about 135, 140 yards. I am gonna try a little stink shot with a 60 degree. Oh, slow down. Slow down. All right, I'm still on the green. So we'll putt back this way and hopefully we can save par, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's find out. Not an easy putt here. A long ways to go. Not enough juice. Bogey. There's a 4 for me. All right, I got a big dilemma here on hole number 4. It's about 120 yards. I should be choking down just a hair on a pitching wedge and hitting it, according to my ranging session right before playing this course. But with my sand wedge going 130 plus yards on the last hole, now I'm confused. So we are going to try a gap wedge and see what happens here. The hole is at the back of the green, which is beneficial, to say the least. That one looks really good. It's online. Cool. So, a pitching wedge, same speed, same swing, all of that would have been perfect. I'm going to be probably 10 to 15 yards, if not more, away from the hole, but I am on the green. Pitching wedge definitely would have been the ideal club off that tee. I'm about 45, 50 feet away from the hole. Looks like it may slightly go right to left. I'm going to leave the pin in, the flag in, because without it I wouldn't be able to see the hole. It's just enough above me. Now that's my biggest complaint about this putter is I don't have long distance control. Short distances I'm pretty good with. Longer distances like this, it's I don't know where it's gonna, how far it's gonna go. So it didn't break at all. Not 1 inch. But I did good by leaving myself a 3-footer for par here. Still a difficult putt, especially on these greens. Sorry, it's more like 4 feet. All right, that makes 2 pars and 2 bogeys through the first 4 holes. Pars I will take out here all day long. You know, I would like to get a birdie here or there, but we're not there yet. This next hole, hole number 5, which I'm stalling because there's somebody on the green, but it's probably the hardest to reach hole out here. We'll go over the yardages when we get over there. All right, so we are about 170 yards out. Usually this hole's closer to 200. They've got the blue tees moved way up. Yeah, I don't know. We are going to try the 5-iron. It's more club than I need, but it looks like, well, we're just going to try it out and see what happens here. Right at the target. I think I'm on the green, guys. A little low trajectory, so hopefully it didn't roll off the back of the green, but it bounced at the front of the green. I know that much, so let's find out where that one went. Okay, so as I feared, with the trajectory of the ball so low, it probably bounced and rolled 15 to 20 yards and off the back of the green. So this is kind of a difficult shot. This green is very much a valley, and they've got the hole right in the middle of it. I've got to play it to the right of the hole, 1.5 to 2 feet, but I also have to not hit it too hard. I'm going to try a pitch and wedge. Ball is above my feet. That broke a lot more than I expected. It was a great chip, but whoa, sorry. But yeah, it broke a lot when it started rolling. So not ideal, but I still have about 4 feet for par here. So the good thing about me being where I'm at is there should not be a lot of break here. It does look like it's a little uphill, so it's gonna, well, it could break a little bit to the left here. So I'm gonna wanna line this up to the right edge of the cup. Gotta be kidding me. All right, I guess we'll take a bogey on that. I left myself an inch. Just didn't hit it quite hard enough. All right, so we're on hole number 6. This is about 112 yards, give or take. I'm gonna try this Cobra Gap wedge out and see what I do with it. All sorts of tees in the ground here. Maybe I'll just use one of those. The wind is blowing to the right, as you can tell from the flag. So the wind blew it about 10 yards to the right. That was a very straight shot. We're on the right edge of the green. Now this is the most treacherous green out here, so it's almost a guaranteed 2-putt. We'll have to wait and see. So this is going to be an extremely difficult 30-foot putt here. I think it's going to break to the left, but there's uphill and downhill, so I'm probably going to have to play it here. Probably going to have to play it over here, maybe towards this spot. So the goal here is to 2-putt. If I make it on the first putt, that's great, but I need the distance that I can put the second putt in with no problems. Now, the biggest problem is the hill's on the right side. So if I leave it on the left side by a foot, then I'm okay. I don't know that it's going to break a ton, but it looks like it's going to break a little bit.
That still wasn't good. It's not what I'm supposed to do. It's supposed to be up in the air.
All right, I left myself 3 feet for par here. 4 feet, sorry. That was definitely a makeable putt, but again, this green is the most difficult green out here. I'm getting away with a bogey. For me right now, I'm okay with that. So even though this is a par 3 course, by the way, I'm on hole 7, and it's about 120 yards, give or take from where I'm at. So I'm going to use gap wedge again. So even though I'm on a par 3 course and the shots can come pretty quick, I've been taking a lot of time between shots to kind of simulate what it'd be like on an 18-hole course, because there's usually a lot more time between shots. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and you guys don't get to see that on camera, but it may be a best practice for you guys to use if you ever play these par 3 courses and they're pretty quick. So again, 120 yards, we've got a pond here on the left, and then to the right of the hole is another pond. So really want to play it to the middle of the green if we can. We definitely have to carry the pond. Got a gap wedge, it should have no problem doing that. So let's find out what we can do here. Got under it. So I got under that one a lot, but it was strong enough, good enough, that I was able to put it on the green. And it had some stopping power. It didn't bounce, but a foot to the left. Broke my tee, which it was one that I found out here. No big deal. Something I want to mention here as I hit this about 30-footer is the importance of greens in regulation. It doesn't matter if you're playing an 18 or a 9-hole course like this, a par 3 course. Greens in regulation are going to make and break you. Most golfers are going to putt 2 or more times on the green. So the quicker you get it on the green, of course that's what they call greens in regulation, the better it is for you. This course is very difficult when you don't get greens in regulation. I've been pretty fortunate today. I've hit quite a few, about half of the holes I've gotten in greens in regulation, which means on the tee shot, because hey, it's a par 3. But you can see what I'm leaving myself. I'm leaving these longer putts, which are low percentage, so I'm almost always going to have to 2-putt these. So we're going to take the flag out. It looks like this one's going to move to the left. So it's more like a 25-foot putt here. It's definitely going to go slightly to the left. I don't know how much, to be honest. These greens can be very tricky when you try to guess the hills. It's good distance. As Tropicana Golf YouTube channel would say, I put it in the hot tub or the jacuzzi. So great advice there from a really good golfer. He's better than me. Is you always want to leave it in a 3-foot circle around the hole. So if you're within 3 feet, that means that next putt is a little bit easier on you. I wouldn't say it's super easy, but it's definitely easy. And that's 3 par. Again, I'd take 9 pars out here. It's a very tough course, and I am not better than a medium handicapper. I would say that I'm probably medium to high handicap at the moment. We're working on improving that, and I feel like the stroke today has been really good, which is nice because it's been a couple months since I was hitting straight balls consistently, and today it's been pretty consistent. All right, a couple more course management tips here. The green is about 95 yards, so I'm going to take my sand wedge, Cobra sand wedge. A couple things I got to worry about is the tree right here. Okay, so I got to play it kind of left of that. The hole is at the back of the green, which means if I leave it short, I can putt uphill, which could be much better than putting downhill. You always want to putt uphill rather than downhill. Getting real thin. I'm gonna be kind of lucky if that one stays dry. I hit it super thin, probably on the bottom 2 grooves. So let's find out. Okay, so this isn't gonna be an easy shot. It's off the green on this other side over here. Again, not the easiest shot. I left it short of the tripod by a hair. And then I left myself a long putt for par here. All right, we're gonna take another bogey. All right, forgive my tripod work. It's back in the wood. While I tee this up, I don't want to tee up on the mat, and there's no place really to tee up right there. This is about 150 yards. Hole number 9. Got trees on the right. This big tree on the left. I'm going to go with a 7-iron. I can feel the body getting a little fatigued here. Just got to make sure I stick with the process, right? Caught her off the toe. It's going to take some distance from it. It's going to be to the right of the green. So probably right and short. I didn't see where it landed exactly. All right, so the ball's going to be a little above my feet. I'm going to try pitch and wedge, a little bump and run. Something in front of the hole here on the right, which is the side I'm going to play it on, because if you go too far left, there is a ginormous slope that'll take your ball, especially on a little chip like this. I hit it way too hard for a pitch and wedge bump and run. So I should have hit it not even that far, but this could be an interesting putt here. Mostly straight with maybe a slight to the right. All right, another 2-putt for another bogey. All in all, not a bad round. We'll add up the score and I'll give you some final thoughts up the hill here. All right, as you can see here, got away pretty clean. No double bogeys, which is maybe a first that I've had out here, at least a first in a long time. Shot a 33, 6 over. So what do you guys think of the swing? What do you think of the course? What do you think of some of the tips I brought? If you like that, let me know in the comments down below. Please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Help this channel grow. Maybe it'll go somewhere someday. That said, I'm Cowboy Golf. We'll see you guys out on the links.